Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Den House. Today, we've got an incredibly important topic to discuss, long COVID. You've probably heard a lot about it in the news, and it's been a major concern for many. But what does the latest evidence actually say about long COVID? Stick around because we're diving deep into the facts. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, death rates from acute COVID infections have fallen, but the worry about long COVID is still very much alive. Recent headlines have been buzzing about a new study published in the prestigious journal Nature Medicine, and it appears to show some alarming findings. Headlines claim that long COVID is worse on a population level than heart disease or cancer, and it can persist even 2 years after the initial infection. That's definitely attention-grabbing, right? But here's the twist. This study compared people who had a record of a COVID-19 infection in 2020 with a control group who had never been diagnosed with the disease. What did they find? Well, it turns out that for people who had been hospitalized with COVID-19, there's indeed a significant risk of long-term issues. No surprise there. Getting seriously ill can have lasting effects. But here's where it gets interesting. For those who weren't hospitalized with their initial infection, the situation looked quite different. Yes, there was an increased risk of issues like heart attacks and respiratory diseases in the first 3 months after being infected. But after that, the long-term problems associated with COVID-19 dropped off rapidly. For instance, let's talk numbers. Between 18 to 24 months after infection, about 18 in every 10,000 people in the control group developed diabetes. In the COVID-19 cohort, that figure was only 20 for every 10,000 people. For fatigue, one of the most common long COVID issues, it was 26 in 10,000 for the control group versus 31 in 10,000 in the COVID-19 group. Now, don't forget, this study focused on people who sought medical help. So these numbers might actually be lower than the true figures, but they could still be higher compared to the general population due to the study's nature. So what's the big takeaway here? Long COVID is a concern, no doubt about it. But at a population level, the elevated risk might be meaningful. Yet, on an individual level, it's not as alarming as health issues like heart disease or cancer. So, while long COVID remains a serious issue for many, especially those who've had severe infections, the latest evidence does offer some reassurance. As COVID-19's severity decreases with growing immunity, the everyday fear for many is diminishing. Thank you for joining us today on Den House. If you found this information helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more insightful updates, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Together, we can stay informed and navigate these challenging times.